Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla, let's go over the market, let's go over essentially what has happened today and what we can expect moving forward to finish off the week. And yeah, the usual stuff, all that good stuff. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, my membership section on YouTube is live. The link is down below for just $2.99 a month. You get access to all my updates, posts, thoughts, intraday thoughts, technical analysis, options flow on Tesla. Pretty much every single day the market's open. So if you want that, link is down below in the description. But let's just jump right into it. Tesla about to be closing in just a few minutes here, but it seems like we'll be closing around this $173 mark, which unfortunately is going to be down about 1.5% on the day. Let me go on the watch list here, which, unfortunately is a bit of an underperformance, right? With SPY and QQQ, obviously green on the day, though obviously they gave up a decent portion of their gains throughout the day, trading at a very, 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 very elevated level that doesn't usually last. You can see every single time. This is kind of another indicator. I'm just like playing around with a lot of indicators. I'm just trying to see like which ones I like, which ones I don't. This is a nice one on TradingView, for instance, right? Where, has a bunch of bands, right? The higher up in the bands that's trading, the more overbought it is, and vice versa. The lower in the bands it is, the more oversold it is, and usually it reverts back to the mean, which is this center one, which is not exactly the 20-day moving average, but it's pretty close. Maybe it's like 21 or something like that. I'm not sure actually, but it's pretty close. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is the market's, kind of overextended here. You can see every single time it's traded up to the second yellow line. It's pulled back pretty much every single time to the mean, right? Which is this middle white line right here. And we're doing it once again, QQQ and SPY. And why do I bring that up? Well, because that may affect Tesla, right? That can potentially affect Tesla. So we'll see how that actually plays out, right? We'll see if that actually ends up being the case or not, especially with Friday usually being a day where profit taking is pretty common, right? We'll see how that plays out. Now, going over to Tesla, there's a few things here that are kind of so-so, honestly. And the reason I say that is because, well, how do I put this? Essentially, Tesla is trading in a range that I'm not bullish or bearish, I guess. And the reason I say that is two reasons. Well, the reason I'm not bullish, and I guess leaning bearish technically since I'm not bullish, is, well, we're seemingly going to be closing below this level right here, right? I wanted to close above this level, which is about 173.7, we'll say, right? Because this is where we, at least, because this is where we did get support over here and we did get some nice bounces from, right? Ideally, even above like 175 would have been even better, but at least above this 173.7-ish level. We're not doing that, right? We're closing below that, which isn't ideal. So we pretty much had a potentially false breakout over here from this, potentially order block type situation that we find ourselves in. So that I'm not happy about. What I am happy about is the fact that if we go over to TrendSpider, on the this is all the 4-hour chart, keep in mind, right? On the 4-hour chart, we're holding the 20-day moving average, which is the green line, right? We're obviously below the 21 EMA, which is the yellow line, but we're holding the green line, which is the 20-day moving average, which, has before acted as a resistance, especially recently on the 4-hour chart. You can see here, it's pretty much rejected us almost every single time until we finally closed this candle above it, and we did move up higher, and now we came back, and so far we're acting, or it's acting as a support. So that's the bullish news, the good news. But the issue is we're kind of stuck in between, right? We fell back into the purple zone here. The RSI is pretty much dead smack in the middle at almost 50, just shy of 50. So we're in an area where it's hard to be bullish or bearish here, in all honesty. Like it's not a very good spot right now to really pick a direction. You really want to see, do we lose a 20-day moving average? Okay, we're probably going to be bearish now. We're probably going to be coming back into the 160s, right? Or do we finally close a candle, hopefully tomorrow, more convincingly, or at least again, above at least this 173.7 level, ideally above 175. Okay, cool. Now we're potentially back to being bullish. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, right? And at the moment, like I said, it's not looking so hot, right? It's not looking so hot or so bad. It's just a very neutral close, a very, very neutral close. The MACD is very close to flipping bullish. You can see an ever so slightly, green MACD bullish flip over here, right? On both of them on the daily, you can see it's like, if you really zoom in there, you can kind of, barely see it, just, barely peeking its head out, but obviously not something that's, all that convincing to say the least, especially with tomorrow being Friday. Again, the main thing I'm worried about is not necessarily Tesla's close here. That's just kind of a neutral close. I'm more worried about the fact that tomorrow is Friday, which, tends to be more often than not a profit-taking day in the market, right? Traders taking profit into the weekend, not wanting to hold, trades and swings into the weekend just because it's more risk, things like that, And of course, like I showed you just now, the market is, well, kind of overextended, right? It is at some, overextended levels that it doesn't usually stay at very, very long, at most for a few days, right? There are some exceptions, of course, but, for the most part, it doesn't stay up in these very elevated levels for all that long. So we'll see how this actually plays out. We'll see how this overall decides to kind of go through tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be a pretty important day to give a better direction, right? The market did again give up not all of its gains, but it did slowly just kind of bleed out the rest of the day. This is what I talked about, how the market likes to digest the news the day after FOMC and is digesting the news. And so far it's, nice gap up, but it's kind of just bleeding out very slowly, right? So maybe the momentum is slowing down, right? That's always a possibility. Technically, the momentum is still bullish. Like we're still above the bands over here. So, we're still bullish technically. Like, I'm not going to say the market's bearish. It's still technically bullish. But the question more is just, will there be a pullback tomorrow? And is the market potentially losing some steam here? Those are the questions I'm still kind of, trying to figure out, right? And again, that all, of course, affects Tesla, which we did now close about 172.83. So that's kind of the situation I find myself in, right? You have things like Apple just completely cratering, which I did get caught today. I took an L today on this trade right here. Just really not going according to plan that way I thought it would, right? Just that the news of it getting investigated was just too powerful, let's just say, of news. And it just completely cratered. So, took an L on that trade today, but, sometimes it is like that. But options flow overall, kind of nothing too crazy. I mean, the only thing that was of note is this 1.2 million right here, but, it's, actually, so this is a 1.2 million, actually, 200 call, what is this? I'm so bad with months. I keep forgetting. May 17th. So it's, it's got some time to it. But, that's nice to see. But, there's time to it, right? Even if we fall down a little bit further, let's say we come back down to the 160s, they have more than enough time for this still to potentially be profitable. So, yeah, that's kind of the main way I'm looking at it right now. The market's still technically bullish. It's just, it is a little overextended. A bit of a pullback wouldn't completely shock me. And yeah, that's kind of the main way I'm looking at it. And specifically on Tesla's close, it's just, again, not bullish or bearish, right? It's holding key levels that I do want to see it hold. But it's on the 4 hour at least. The daily, keep in mind, the daily is still bearish. Right? The daily, we're still like below all the bands, below the 20-day moving average, essentially. Like the daily is still not looking too hot, right? And, we're pretty close to the 180-ish level, which also a lot of volume on the right here. So keep that in mind. The 4 hour is the one that's has potential, but also closed in a very neutral spot. So it really just comes down to how tomorrow goes, in my opinion. And, just what does Tesla want to do tomorrow, right? Does it want to actually pick a direction tomorrow, or is it just going to continue doing these kind of fake breakouts both ways and not really do a whole lot? And that's the main thing I'll be looking at right now. So unfortunately, the update today is a little lackluster, maybe, right? Maybe not what some people would want to hear. But again, if I don't really see an obvious direction at all, then I'm going to say that, right? The only bullish thing here is potentially the slightest MACD bullish flip I've ever seen in my life. Again, I wouldn't put too much weight on that, though. We need a bit more confirmation, in my opinion. But all in all, that's kind of what I'm seeing for now for this video. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. There's some work to be done for sure here, but we'll see how it plays out. So yeah, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.